Hello, Mr. Kaufman's friends. Here again to put together another tutorial video for you to help you with another part of our lesson 13.1 topic. So in the first tutorial you saw we did some inequalities, okay? And those inequalities were problems where we had to determine if two measurements were greater, less than, or equal to one another. And we used this chart that you saw before, and we used the equivalence among two different measurements to figure out whether the two measurements we were given were equal, greater than, or less than one another. In this tutorial today, we're going to use that same customary units of length chart for USA measurements of how long things are. And we're going to do that to find, or what we call convert, a measurement that we're given into some other measurement. Okay, so hopefully this will help you out. So the very first word you want to take a look at is the word here, convert. And the word convert means to change. Okay, so when we change, what that means is we're going to go from one measurement to the next. So if you look at the very first one here, we have 15 feet. And the key word here is feet, because we are being asked now to convert and change that to some amount in inches. Okay, we don't know what that amount is. We have to figure out the amount that is equaled in inches to 15 feet. So how do we do that? How do we change a measurement from one unit to the next? Well, that's how this handy dandy chart will help us. Okay, first thing we want to do is we want to identify what are the two measurements that we have. We have feet and inches. So I need to look at my chart here and I need to use feet and inches, and I found it right here. Okay, so I know that for every 1 foot, I need 12 inches to make the same length. Okay, so if I have 15 feet, then I can use my measurement that I've highlighted in yellow. Mr. Kaufman having a brain fart. All right, so we know in the table that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. So if we have 15 feet, then we can take our 15 feet and we can multiply that by the 12 inches that we have here. Okay, so in case you're not sure how we did that, we found our measurement, 1 foot is 12 inches. We wrote it down. Underneath of that, we copied our measurement that we were given, which is 15 feet. And now, since we know that the number of inches is 12 times larger than the number of feet, we're going to multiply our 15 feet times 12 inches, because 12 inches is 12 times larger than 1 foot. So this number should be 12 times larger than 15 feet. So excuse my sloppy handwriting. All right, so 15 feet is how many inches? So let's use our handy dandy calculator. Type in 15 times 12, and we get 180. So that means that 15 feet is equal to 180 inches. So I can write 180 inches. And that makes sense because the number of feet is less than the number of inches. So in my answer, my number of feet should be less than my number of inches. That's a good way to check at the end to make sure that what we did makes sense. Apologies, I erased some things, but I didn't mean to erase everything. All right, so let's just get rid of that. All right, we're just gonna leave it. Okay, let's just draw a little line here to separate our stuff. So now in this one, we have miles and yards. So we're going to look for miles and yards in our table. I see miles I see yards right here. So that means 1 mile is the same as 1,760 yards. Okay, so again, I have 1 mile in my chart. That's equal to 1,760 yards. Okay, so if I have 5 miles, I'm going to multiply my 5 miles times 1,760. I got to squeeze it in here. Is it going to fit? Am I going to get it? I got it. 1,760 yards. Okay, clear out. 5 miles times 1,760. Mr. Kaufman, always pay attention to what you're doing. Holy cow. Holy cow. 8,800 miles. Excuse me, yards. 5 miles is the same as 8,800 yards. Woo, that's a lot. So I'm going to write 8,800 here. Now, let's just double check, make sure this makes sense. I see here my mile number, 1, is smaller than my yards. So over here, my miles should be smaller than my yards, and they are. So that means we've done everything correct so far. All right, let's do one more. Let's just draw a little line here, separate our work. Final one. Let's see if we can do this one. All right, I have inches and I have yards. So inches and yards. Where are they? Inches and yards. I see yards. I see feet. Oh, I see inches right here. I'm going to scribble out this middle part. I don't need that. 1 yard is 36 inches. All right, so if 1 yard is the same as 36 inches, then 14 yards would be like what? Think about that, guys. Think about that. What should I put over here? I'm reading your minds. Let's see if this is what you were thinking. Mr. Kaufman had a brain fart. I should put 14 yards times 36 inches. Is that what you were thinking? I hope so, because that's correct. That's exactly what we need to do. So 14 yards is going to be how many inches? Let's look at our calculator. 14 times 36. 14 times 36 equals 504. 504. Excellent. Again, let's do the quick discount double check at the end. My yards are smaller than my inches because I have 1 yard equal to 36 inches. So my 14 yards should be smaller than my answer. Equivalent 504. Yes, 14 is smaller than 504. All right, so in the first tutorial, I showed you how to write inequalities, determine if 2 measurements are equal to, less than, or greater than one another. And in this tutorial, we learned how to convert, or as we learned, change one measurement into another measurement with a different unit. Hopefully that helps you guys out. See you soon.